And welcome everybody to another episode of New Book Who Dis. And tonight I've got with me That Umbrella Guy, and we're talking Hunt the Littlest Umbrella. What's going on, Tug? How you doing?
Hey there, man. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, brother?
I'm hanging in there. It's been a crazy week. I mean, speaking of crazy weeks, you've had a pretty crazy week.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one.
Yeah. Been live streaming all over the place.
Hey, man, that case, man. Been covering it for 2 years. Glad to see it's real, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's finally coming to fruition. You know, all that stuff.
But there's got to be a challenge to all that Me Too insanity. So I'm glad to see it, man.
Yeah, maybe a little, I don't know, equilibrium back to the world, a little critical thought back to the world instead of knee-jerk emotional reaction, perhaps.
Yeah, one day, I think that's actually come back somewhat. I believe that, like, this case and a few other ones have shown societally that we've gone in the wrong direction, but judicially, we still don't have a win. So I already think this societally has been a big hit, but again, judicially, I hope it will be the one that goes through. It's going to it's taken time, man. I mean, look at all the cases that have fallen before it, but.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like this. It seems like slowly but surely it's kind of setting a precedent. You know, in the midst of all this insanity, it's like, all right, now this is a resetting. Like, all right, here are the facts. This is what's going on. You know, it's not just believe one side without proof. You know.
Yeah, you know, we do need a return to meritocracy in a lot of ways.
I agree.
It's not just with this. The meritocracy of claims, the meritocracy of work. I mean, there's so many things that need to come together.
Yes, 100%. So in the midst of all this craziness, have you gotten a chance to read anything, like for pleasure, like anything that you enjoy reading? Is there anything
not very recently? I want to start. There's God, I can never pronounce. I'm terrible with manga names, but there's a horror series.
Both.
Let me pull it up. I'll have to spell it, I guess. But yeah, there's a horror series. I'm always on the lookout for new horror series, especially. Mangas. It really got me these days. You know.
You know what? Same. I work in my childhood comic shop, and we've been getting more and more manga on the rack with the trade paperbacks and whatnot. So
it's called Maruko-chan, I believe. It's M-I-E-R-U-K. I think it's Maruko-chan. And there's already a show with it, but you know, I never watched the show. I like to read something before I watch the show.
Totally. I totally understand that. I've actually been ordering manga as well, you know, because it's what the customers are buying. You know, I might as well get into it and see what it is about this. You know, it's because it's comics. I mean, I can read it. It's just getting used to reading it backwards for me. You know, I think the last manga that I bought before these recent ones was Battle Angel Alita, back when Dark Horse was putting out the back in the day, back when Dark Horse was
box set of it, the newer, you know, the larger edition. I like they've been releasing. Okay, so I picked up The Drifting Classroom. There was a re-release of that. That's actually really good. That's a strange any story. I like stories where everything's off the table. You know it. Like in this one, the buy-in, there's a classroom that's teleported to this almost wasteland, and you know the kids are your main characters, and they're always in danger. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean it's different. It's actually it's kind of what do they call that? Is it the isekai where they are transported to a different land or something like that? I've been listening to Literature Devil in the mornings, and he'll use terms for manga. I'm just like, what? But what was it? Battle Royale. You ever seen that movie?
Oh yeah, man, I love that.
That kind of reminds me of the premise for that, except you know they got collars instead of just being transported away.
Pot lid, man, it'd be my luck. I get a damn pot lid as a weapon,
right? Or a fan. You know, although that one person that had the fan did all right with it, you know.
Yeah. Well, he did okay with the pot lid. You know, he blocked that one guy attacking him, and then he had someone else save his ass, but still.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, let's say hi to the chat. What's going on there, Pops? He says, let's do this.
What's up?
We got
Pops?
a Pale Rider. Skull, Pale Rider. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate everybody. What's up, Fanta? Thanks for coming to hang out. Good to see you. Hey, there's a Lola. What's going on, Lola? Appreciate you being here. And there's a Flying Feline. Skull Flying Feline. Thank you for coming to hang out. Pop says, oh, what's up, man? This is my shocked face. Hey, good stuff. What's going on? Thank you for coming. Appreciate everybody being here. And a Wookiee supremacy. Thank you. So before we went live, I was going to show you some books that I got. Now, I realize that these are, let's see, some of these are not full Robert E. Howard, but somebody came into the shop. Here, let me make myself a little bit bigger.
Man, I love some Conan, dude.
Oh, I know, man.
I used to.
I don't know everything about Conan, but ever since I saw the movies with my dad and then discovered the Frazetta art, you know, Conan Frazetta just redefined the way Conan looked and just, you know, his artwork. But somebody came in with this stack of Conan books, and I just, you know, I work in my childhood comic shop, so I could not resist. I mean, look at that one.
Yeah, the old the Conqueror series and stuff, man. I grew up on that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, were these the ones that were? Yeah, they were in the fantasy novels or in the fantasy magazines.
Yeah, like that cover too. They were everywhere. Yeah. Like I love those. You know, that was at the same time when you had also with Marvel editions. You know, you had Conan running strong back then, and you had Savage Sword of that was running strong.
Dude, the art in Savage Sword. I mean, Barry Windsor Smith, Big Sal, and John Buscema just cranking out amazing pages. Oh, dude, yeah. And they could tell more adult stories in Savage Sword because it was a magazine format. You know, that's how they got around the Comics Code Authority, because it applied only to comic size publications rather than.
That's an amazing. You know, they're re-releasing those in trade form, and you can find them. Like I refuse to buy new stuff from Marvel. I will not buy a new thing, but you can find those. Like if they were now the one thing they scam you on the prices. They screw you with new prices, but you can already find them.
I know.
Yeah. I guess you do very well now.
Believe me, I know.
Well, it's crazy. They'll put out something like the first book will be $125 at 1,000 pages, and the fifth book by then will be $150 at 650 pages. And then it's like, what the shit?
Death Dealer.
Yeah. Death Dealer.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I love Frazetta. I actually have Frost Giants, Conan vs. the Frost Giants. I have an original print from the 70s on the wall in the hallway on the way to the studio. I was going to college up in New Hampshire, and I was putting stuff down in the basement, which is, you know, being from Florida, basements are a novel fucking thing, because you dig 6 feet down here in Florida, and you're going to hit water. You know, it's like the same as over in Louisiana. That's why they have the mausoleums up above the ground. So I'm putting my stuff away, and I see this old. Is that a Frazetta? Holy shit, that's a Frazetta. And is that a Star Wars poster with Darth Vader? Hey, whose stuff is this over here in this pile? Oh, nobody. That's been here since we moved in. I'm taking this Star Wars poster and this fantasy poster. Yeah, so it proudly hangs in my my house now. But yeah, man, I see it every day when I walk into the studio. I love that. Although, you know the one I'm talking about, right? With the two big giants and the red beard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude's hand, is it underneath his beard holding his neck, or did Conan lop his hand off? I've never been able to tell.
I don't remember. You know, you'd probably be able to really tell from recreations of the picture. More than that, if I'm ever, that is so famous that you could just go in and look at, you know.
Oh yeah,
that story is told like 1,000,000 times over. I remember Dark Horse picking it up, Marvel picking it up, and you know I'm sure they recreated that original art too.
Oh yeah, I mean, and do you remember any of the old Conan novels before Frazetta, where he kind of looked like a Roman centurion?
Yeah.
Hey, Shay, good to see you.
I like the redefining. Hey, what's up, Shay?
Mm-hmm. He looks
I
more
like
like
the
a
redefining.
barbarian.
Yeah, yeah. I like what's funny is, you know, did you read Gail Simone trying to write Conan? Did you see that when she did Wonder Woman Conan?
I remember when it came out. Yes, I did.
I read it and I fucking hated that. Like I kept thinking, Conan, you know, simping. He was a simp in that. I thought Conan, you know, he's the kind of he's not a good guy. You know, they want to make him this nice, clean cavalier guy. He's just as likely to bash you over the head and carry you out and do something horrible to you.
He's a fucking barbarian.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
He's got his own motivations. I mean, he's not a bad person, but I mean, he's the true embodiment of like chaotic neutral. He's got his own agenda and he's doing his own shit. Don't get in his way. You know? Yeah. Red Nails is another one that they've done to death. You know, but nobody can top Barry Windsor Smith. I mean, I realize that was early in Barry's career, but I love the line work on that, the storytelling. You know. I've actually been bouncing back and forth between Dune, like the original Dune novel, unabridged, and the Conan stories, like all the short stories that Robert E. Howard did. All the ones that have been recorded.
I went on a kick I actually have gotten heavier into audiobooks. The only thing that sucked with the audiobooks for Dune is the first one is always some abridged version. I mean, it's a abridged long version, but it's still abridged, you know?
Yeah. The one I'm listening to, I'm fairly certain it's unabridged and it's got like a full cast, or not like a full cast, but it's got like almost a full cast in audio, like music in the background and minor sound effects. I'll get it to you. That way you can check it out. So far,
I picked one up from. It was about. Let me see. I picked one up on, and I went through it because I was in the mood for it. But there was the one on onaudible.com. You know, I picked up the entire series there, and their main one is still abridged, even though it's a fantastic. Yeah, and it's a fantastic read. Like it's a great. I like what they did with it, but. I still want to read the entire thing. So.
Right, you still want all the information. Yeah.
But
you know, back then, they didn't really like to do, because some of the longer Stephen King books used to be abridged, and the Star Wars books. Yeah. They used to abridge all of the Star Wars books when they did audiobooks. You know, because they didn't think people wanted the full thing. They wanted the basic of the story, I guess. I don't know. I don't like abridged audio. It bugs me. So I hear you.
I like to read. I like to audio read. I guess it's the same thing, except I can be lazy and sit around. I like to go through mafia books and things about like cartels, you know, Pablo Escobar and stuff.
Okay.
But the one thing, Casino, the book, there is no audio unabridged version. You can get it on tapes or something, but you can't find one that you can't find one otherwise.
Oh. Have you ever had to try to fight with a rip from a cassette tape?
Oh yeah.
That starts out kind of like this and then goes like this and then starts going like this again. Oh man, it's like, oh no, wait, this is a good part of the book. Don't do this. Arrgh!
Oh god,
yeah.
Man. It flashes me back to like VHS tapes and everything. Jesus, I hated that. Like looking back, you know, it amazes me how bad things were. You didn't really notice how bad things were, but they were pretty awful.
No clue. You know, we rolled with what we had.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, I still do like some of my my VHS tapes. You know,
I like the box art. Like that's the thing. Here's a funny story. So I had a cassette player one time, and I dropped it in water, and instead of it messing up, some of the fancier ones would have like a button where you could flip the tape over. Instead, it would play it backwards. It just fried something in it. So it would play it like, you know how backmask music is. What's really funny is I found a lot of things that actually had stuff, you know, where they had backmasked it because this thing, you know, it would play them backwards on accident.
Holy shit! Wow.
Yeah.
I've Yeah, it must have fried the thing that kept it from doing that. Huh. I used to play around with one of the. You remember the little audio DAT tapes, like with the tiny little voice recorders? I used to play around with those, doing like little radio shows and whatnot. I used that to try to do a comic book log once. Like reading the title and then the number. What I failed to realize is that it's impossible to find anything with any kind of efficiency on the tape. Yeah. So, that went by the wayside real quick. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I like this new world, though. I mean, we can do like this. I mean, you ever imagine we could just sit here and do this shit?
Well, this is incredible. Being able to, connect and talk to people all over, all over, because it's like going to a convention. Back in 2006 and 2007 and 2008, I used to do a show called Last Wednesday, and we'd go down to conventions and we'd interview people and talk to, fans and creators and whatnot. And this is kind of like, hitting that grind of going to the convention circuit. This is essentially, and this is one of the things Woodrow and I were talking about earlier. It's essentially the same grind, like the same, putting in the work, putting in the foot traffic, I guess, talking to people, networking. Back then, you had to go to shows, you had to call shops, you had to get things, going like that. But now you can connect over the internet. You can create things and you can show it almost instantaneously, and get people interested. And I think that's the beauty of this whole scene we've got going on here. It very much reminds me of the indie scene of the 80s. That black and white indie scene. You got to put the legwork in. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I actually like what we've built out of this thing, because it's an opportunity for anyone, if you're willing to put in the time and you're willing to put in the motivation and effort, you can build something amazing if you really want to do it.
Absolutely. But you got to love doing this.
You gotta be willing to. I mean, again, you could fail. I mean, it's a possibility, but you got to be willing to sacrifice time. You've also got to. Part of the comic thing, I mean, part of this is a lot of people fail at is they look at this so insular and niche. They build, like, you've got to learn what you're doing first. Like what you're doing here now, you're learning platform, you're learning what you can or can't do. You'll try, you'll fail, succeed. But a lot of people won't learn the platform itself. They won't learn keywording, what works with title and cards. I mean, it took me a year and a half to learn proper titling and everything. Oh yeah.
I mean, the getting things that work with the algorithm. I mean, I used to work for a company and had to, sort of learn how to use keywords, for the training videos that we had, and just it's definitely not easy, and it's constantly changing too, because they're modifying their algorithms, so you have to, constantly update that shit as well. So yeah, it's being a creator now is not just making the book. That's part of it, but it's also being able to sell yourself as the creator. Yes.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. That's meritocracy, man.
Damn right it is.
I like some of the I like the fact that, like myself, I'm not a pro. I mean, but and some pros don't like that. Like I can name a few pros that don't like that, and they don't like the fact that you can outsell them.
I mean, listen, the pros didn't fucking like it when Ninja Turtles bust on the scene and started outselling every fucking thing on the racks either. So, but I mean, that became one of the biggest like IP juggernauts on the planet. So, I mean, I don't know. I do know the mainstream always gets antsy when the indies get sick of their shit and bounce off to do their own thing. That's
Even
what happened in the
indies.
80s. That's what happened in the 90s. It's what's happening now.
Well, the indies have a hierarchy too. Like we're circumventing the hierarchy in indies too. They're.
Oh yeah.
You hear all these people. You got to pay your dues. I ain't got to pay shit. I do what I want.
You know what paying your dues is? It's building your audience and putting the hard work into building a book that you're passionate about and serving it up to your audience and saying, here it is, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like, and listening to feedback. That's what paying your dues is, making a good book that people like and interacting with your audience. That's what paying your dues is.
Well,
what, you got to slave away working for an asshole corporation? Is that paying your dues? Fuck no.
According to them, it is, but I'm not going to do that. Like, there's no,
me neither. And it's sad because I really used to want to work for. I wanted to work for Marvel.
Oh,
like, I wanted to do a Wolverine.
I thought it'd be awesome to tell a story,
right?
Yeah.
Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, Blade. All these characters. Do a Midnight Suns book or like a new Fantastic Four book or something like that. But I mean, you don't own anything. You get to play with somebody else's toys, and in the end, I'd rather put that effort and energy towards something that means something to me.
And you do it for slave wage. You do it slave wage, man. I like the idea. Heck, we were talking about this before. I've seen many pros say, if you go into comics, don't go into it to make money. Why? If I'm not going to pay out of my, like, when I introduce it to my audience, if I've done the steps necessary, if I've built my audience, if I've gone in and I've laid the foundation and people trust me and we do, we showcase good work, we're going to make money.
Yeah.
We've done it. This will be our third try. We've cracked six figures every time we've tried. So,
yeah. See, there you go, and put together a book that means something to you, and, you got the whole family working on it. Woodrow says, there's no way I'd have been able to put my book together without all of these hardworking talents and the networking. Yeah.
What's up, Metal Movies and
Brewskis? Yeah. Meeting all kinds of different talented people. It's amazing the variety of talents that are in this scene. Just the different things that people can do, from 3D printing to making comics to making music to, writing, editing, all that stuff. Cosplaying. It's amazing, all the stuff that people can do.
I like the fact, too. Like, people are always gunning to get on the big shows and stuff like that. Man, you build up your audience big enough, and everybody will want you on those shows, Tracy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a...
I mean, it's the double-sided blade of popularity, right? Popularity helps sell the book, but at the same time, popularity makes people want to come hang out. So it's a double-edged sword. But let's go ahead and bring up the campaign. Feline says that's amazing that you've cracked six figures in all three campaigns. And that truly is.
Well, the first one I learned a lot. I launched it. I had no idea what it was doing. I got very lucky. I just kind of fell into that first one. Kyung Lee, man, I owe that guy quite a bit. I really own Kyung. I mean, Kyung Lee, he hit me up. Like, I went through a lot of this stuff, and people started taking aim at, they take aim at your real life. They take aim at craziness. And Kyung Lee was like, yo, man, you've done a lot helping other people. You've helped me out. You've talked about making a comic. Do you want to really do that? Do you want to make a comic? I'll help you if you want to. So I made that connection.
Awesome. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a surprise for you and Lola. Lola, I hope you're still in the chat before we jump into this, and I want to hear the origins, because I totally missed out on the first two campaigns. You were already done with your first campaign by the time I started really paying attention to campaigns, and then I didn't really pay enough attention, and by the time I went to go back, this one, it was already done. So I've been waiting for this one, and thank you for doing the monster bundle so I could catch up. So, yeah.
I like that. I like the monster. I also like being able to reissue.
Yeah.
All the books.
Different cover. That way, the work is out there for people to get.
Yeah. And everybody is rewarded for their for sticking around. They do have a first edition, or they have something every time, and people will reinvest. I mean, I had a certain person that I know that they've spent Well, they spent $2,000 on charity donations alone because they wanted to make sure, because they like what you do and they will back you every time. And it's amazing. I mean, it's absolutely.
Some people just
amazing.
want to help. You know, amazing as that sounds, some people just want to help.
They want to. They, like you said, you sell yourself in there, and when people get to know you and they trust what you do in it. Man.
Yeah. All right. No, Lola, I have not showed it yet. You're just in time. So here we go. Surprise.
Let me blow my screen. I can't see it good. Let me blow it. That's cool. I like that. I like the Necronomicon throwback, shout out. Man, my brain is fried today. Yeah, I like that. Oh, the spider. That's cool too. I like that.
Yeah. This is kind of a play off of the cover that she did with her artwork. You know, missing spider if found, contact lug. Well, she's found her spider.
We're exploring the face thing this time. Like, why don't they have faces? You know,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Peter Gilmore, S.K.BENNETT. My brain's fried. Like I said, I may mess up some
you've
names stuff.
been streaming all over the place, man. I totally get it.
Well, S.K.BENNETT. I mean, S.K.BENNETT is a powerhouse too. I love his work. But he's a smart guy as far as story ideas and conceptual ideas. Like he's a fun guy to work with. And he was like, I like working with 666 for his mask designs.
Mm-hmm.
And he designed. Did you see the new mask design? Did you see it?
I haven't seen the most recent one. No, I don't think so.
Well, here, let me just pull up a picture.
Yeah, bring that up
real quick. I like that.
But yeah, this
that
is
picture, by the way.
This is thank you. This is just with the color flats, and there's the black and white.
Let me look at it before you pull it down. Let me see. Oh man, I like it, man. I love looking at that. That's my favorite thing people create is not what we create as a comic. It's what other people create when they like what we do. See, I love that. I absolutely love that.
Thanks, man.
Man,
like I said, I missed out on the campaigns before, and I kind of got excited about this one. I wanted to do some fan art, and I've been thinking about it when you were on with Shay. You know, she'd showed the paintings, and I was like, you know what, I should do some fan art as well.
I like those, man.
Thank you. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the
oh, that
his
is
work,
creepy cool.
Yeah, his work on his masks are just, I mean, they're amazing. He's been, filtering out the teeth, and what we'll do is we'll end up cutting the eyes, probably putting in red lensing is what we're working on. But we had 5 of these on the campaign. Now we made I gotta check. I think 16, but I figure 5 will end up in this house in one way or the other. So the kids, Lug's going to take one, probably 2
of course.
For sure. I'm keeping one. No way. I'm not giving up one. And the little one.
Got to make sure you hide at least one away in the closet to make sure. Yeah.
So I thought about putting 3 more. I mean, the 5 that we put up sold just like bam, bam. They went out. So,
that doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
I mean, he does quality work. He really does.
Oh yeah. Like people have no idea how good his stuff is until you put it on. If you've ever had something of his, he designed my first. When I went to Anime Matsuri in 2019, he designed masks, 3 different masks for me, 2 latex, and he has an actual Friday the 13th mold from one of the movies. He has the real thing.
Kidding.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, if you want something awesome, like he may have 2 of them. At one time he had one, and I think he brought another one in. But he can make you. I mean, God, when you talk about, you don't just get a replica, you get something that is movie quality. It's awesome.
Oh yeah,
work.
Especially if he's working from one of those molds, and I mean, I imagine if he has access to that mold, he probably has a reason to have access, and therefore the skills too. And the work that I've seen, is,
he worked with. He has Captain Spaulding, from. 1,000 Corpses. Yeah. He has a lot of makeup work. Like he has pictures of himself working with him and many other people in the profession.
Roll.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He's not a dabbler. He is a professional, and I love his work, man.
Don't be giving him ideas, Luke. I said nothing. I know nothing. Did you say more masks would be available, Tug? Fanta wants to know.
I may put up. Oh, I'm talking about the hard masks. Actually, I pulled you one of those face masks, Fanta. By the way, I got one for you. I had to pull one aside. But yeah, the hard masks. I've got 3. Like I said, we had 16 all told. 5 will end up in the house, and I don't know what'll happen to the other 5. I was going to take them to Anime Matsuri when we go, but I may put 3 more in the campaign. So I'm thinking about it.
It sounds like they will sell.
Yeah, and we won't make any more. So once this is, we redesign every time, and I won't make any more.
Right. That way each mask is unique to the campaign. Absolutely. It's like unique covers. It's an incentive to jump in.
Yep.
I mean, yes, it's sad that some people won't be able to pick up the mask, but at the same time, it's a collectibles thing. I mean, it's a balancing act.
Well, I know how it is to be a collector. Scarcity is fun.
Yeah, it can be. Sometimes it's frustrating, but I mean that's all part of the hunt,
Yep.
And speaking of hunt.
Oh,
wait. I actually have something for this. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, no. Oh, man, the timing's ruined, but whatever. There we go. Yes! On top of it. That's awesome. All right, we'll play the trailer here, and then we'll go over the campaign.
All right. Hey there, so that Umbrella Guy and Little Umbrella Girl are back, following up their smash hit for a 3rd comic adventure, Hunt the Littlest Umbrella. We're talking 40 pages of all ages, classic horror goodness with humor and, yeah, a little bit of Lovecraftian goodness sprinkled on top. I find myself mouthing it. You can probably hear me. I forgot to mute my mic. I was speaking along with it. I've heard it so many times. I catch myself just unconsciously mouthing it.
Oh, I'm sure. Over and over again. I mean, how many times do you have to say it in order to get the take?
I am obsessive compulsive. With my videos, I clip pieces. Mm-hmm. Man, I might have 30 takes on one, so that took a little bit of time.
Damn. Wow.
I spend a lot of time.
Nice and
but it makes good video. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, and when you're doing that over and over again, it kind of sharpens what you're doing, so maybe next time it won't take you quite as many takes, or you have more of an idea. I don't know. So at least I find some way.
We start to learn your vocal cues, your patterns, your all the things you mess up on. You start to notice colloquialisms you need to pull out.
And sometimes when you're too close to the mic and you make noise,
Yeah.
Sometimes I haven't set up a pop filter out on this one just because this is one of the microphones I take to do the sing along of Doom, so I constantly have to take the thing down. But yeah, I really like video editing. As strange as it is, I like video editing. There's something, I don't know, zen about it. I don't know, but I'm usually editing stuff to music, so maybe that's a little different. It's been a while since I've edited together like a video for like a comic or something like that, like a review. So I don't know, but let's talk about the campaign here. So this is the 3rd one. What was the impetus for the beginning of the Littlest Umbrella?
Really, it's funny. It just came together from a mishmash of ideas. I wanted to do something that was all ages appropriate, that would get my daughter involved. I couldn't.
Sure.
I'm sure you've been involved with comics all your life, or you have that moment you get in. I've been involved since I was 3. When I look at those, so see, when you look at those comics, you pull them out. I have it's not just whether a comic's good or bad, it doesn't matter. You have not just that, you have the nostalgia of it, you have the ghosts attached to it from those days. And I want my kids to have that feeling, and I couldn't give it to them with Marvel. So I thought, man, this would be fun. Now, Peter Gilmore created the first design for Little Umbrella Girl in fan art, actually. That's why he has 2 stories in this book, and he was on the first mini comic. A lot of people don't know what an ash can is, so I just call them mini comics now.
Right.
You know, like all these new people, like where I'm talking to the debt people, they have no idea what the fuck a mash can is.
What's an ash can? It's
Yeah.
you know it's a very strange name.
It is, you know, and we misuse it because used to Ashcan was a mini preview comic. That was really what it was. So
Oh, and they were poorly made too.
yeah, they were
You know,
terrible.
there was Xeroxed. You know, you get ones that have like the ink that's like just literally laying on top of the cover, and it's like sticking to everything else after it sits. Oh yeah. Oh, the
but
ye old laser printers.
We went through. We were talking about how that would come together, and it just, like I said, it just meshed. We thought I like detective noir books.
Yeah.
I've always been drawn to that kind of work, and I love horror. You know, I absolutely love horror. So
Same.
I thought it'd be fun. Take those, slap them in, try to make them all ages. Have fun with that.
Hell yeah. And you know, horror done for all ages is a difficult tightrope to walk, because, you know, when it's just all out R-rated horror, you know, you can go full bore, you can put the pedal to the metal and, you know, just do whatever. But when you're doing something that's all ages, you gotta pull it back, and you know, you wanna scare the kids, but you don't want to terrify the kids. You wanna give them a little fright, but not, you know, make them, you know, I don't know, you don't want to scar them necessarily, you know.
Hey, props
Jim
to
Cox
Jim
says my
Cox.
first CG book backing was Case of the Littlest Umbrella 2 days before I backed Cyberfrog Blood
That's
Honey.
awesome. That's awesome, man.
What's up, Jim Cox?
I appreciate the heck out of that too. I mean, people. Every time we do a campaign, it makes me nervous, just to be honest, because you know people are going to back, but at the same time, saying, "Oh my God, man, you know,
Right.
is this the time? Is this when we're going to have a decline? Is this the time when we're going to fail?" You know, and
Right.
there are a lot of people that depend on it. If it were me by myself, I wouldn't worry about it, but you know, there are a lot of people that depend on that. Again, SK, I also guarantee my books will get paid. So,
Yeah.
you know, SK's on contract for his page rate throughout the entire book. So, yeah, I'm gonna go out of pocket quite a bit for that.
Well, I mean, but you're getting quality. That's the thing, you know. It's
Oh yeah,
anybody
It's
can
just-
slap something together, you know, but you're getting quality, and
Yeah, well,
clearly
you know, if
SK is having fun. You know,
He's good.
The
He's
pages
good. He's
look
just-
good. I mean,
Yeah,
his
he's
new
good.
cover. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
his
I
cover
didn't mean to talk about
work is as good as his
it. Like
as his
this.
interior. You know, he's all in one talent. I mean, when you look at that, you've got lettering his, colors
Oh,
his,
no shit.
liner.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, he's everything. That's his work. Everything, like everything you see there,
Oh,
his
no
work.
kidding.
Yeah,
So you wrote it, and he arted it. He arted it.
we story together. Like you know,
Yeah.
one of the things that I like about I don't want to restrict my team on stuff. Like when we're coming up with ideas and stuff, we co-create. You know, period. Now there's some people that you have to tell them exactly. I don't like working with people that I have to point and say, you know, A, B, C, D through everything. I like a looser framework.
Oh yeah, give. Well, it makes the audience interact more. They may not think that they're interacting more, but they are. It's making them think a little bit more. If you lead them by the hand, the story feels boring no matter what's going on. You know, video games that lead you by the hand are fucking boring as shit when they do that too. You know, like I don't know. The story, you're supposed to discover it. You're not supposed to be like, and then this happens, and then that happens. I mean, that's boring.
You want your team to, when they're creating, you want them to feel good about it. You don't want to. I know a few people behind the scenes very well, and they're so neurotic about what they what they put in, and I think it harms the quality of their books because they don't get the best ideas. Like S.K.BENNETT has some amazing ideas that I would have never thought about. You know, the mask thing. When I wanted to put in masks, he said, "Hey, you know, what would be a great idea? We use the mask idea to explain the face. So we actually have a story used item, which is smart. You know, marketing, that's smart.
Yeah.
And it also works in as a story concept.
Well, that adds to the mythos. You know, that gives layers, and it I don't know, it kind of grounds it in its own world. You know, there's a reason for it. It's not just because it looks cool. You know,
Well, that's the last book explained like the tentacles, like Umbrella Girl has some tendrils on their back. She likes to have, and it explained like where those came from. Yeah.
Awesome.
But, yeah, we try to. The first one was more of an attempt just to create, to have something to do, and these have been more acts of inspired creation, I guess is a better way.
Okay, well, the first one was like, all right, can we do this? And now these are like, oh, yeah, we can do this. Let's have fun with this.
Yeah.
You know, hell yeah. That's awesome. What's up, Brian? Thanks for coming to hang out, man. Good to see you. Christine Venner says, first 2 issues were great. Looking forward to the 3rd one.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Christine.
I'm looking forward to getting the chance to read them. I love horror, and I'm of the opinion that they usually can't do like horror, like PG-13 horror movies. What is your opinion? Do they usually live up, or are they usually duds?
I've seen a few that have been good, but by and large, they have to. You could do an atmospheric horror possibly at PG-13, but
right.
Yeah, normally no. Normally no.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at as well. Did you see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark? The recent one.
I don't remember it. I think I did, but it doesn't. I don't remember it very well.
I mean, it was a PG-13 horror movie, and it was pretty good. I mean, Del Toro was kind of like a supervisor or something like that. He didn't direct it, but he had a hand in like, the cinematography and everything like that, because it kind of feels like his work a little bit. But yeah, it was definitely PG-13 creepy. It was kind of skin crawly in places.
Is that the one with the scarecrow on the front cover? Is that the?
Yeah, it's based on the old children's books.
I remember that. Yeah, it wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. I remember.
Yeah, I mean, as far as PG-13 horror goes. But I said all that to say this. I think it's important to have stuff like this that is all ages, especially for people that like horror.
Yeah. I think like we're not. Yeah, you've got to know, like when they go in to create PG-13, usually they're going in to create an adult project, and then they hamstring it, and they think, no, we got to cut this back or that back. We know our audience, we know what we're creating, and comic books are different too. Used to, Conan was a all ages book. I mean, you have all ages was defined. You can have all ages mean kids book. And that's all you mean. I want, that a lot of people use that as coding, but that's not what we want. We want everybody to be able to go in, but
truly all ages.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And most times, especially like in the shop, like we have a rack that is specifically all ages, and that's basically like the kids rack. That's what it's become. I mean, some of the stuff that's not all ages is rather childishly written anyway, so I mean, does it matter?
Not really. I mean, really, when you get down to oh god, man, modern comics are. There's some independents that come out every now and then. There are a couple of halfway decent titles that are out. Maybe like oh god, what is it, the Last House by the Lake or whatever that.
Oh yeah, Nice House on the Lake.
Nice, yeah. That's not a bad title.
That's what I've been hearing from my customers as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's some moments in it, I think, but there are some really interesting ideas that are fleshed out. But by and large, you get one of those that's good, you're gonna have 30 bad titles.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. When I do like a previews. Like deep dive, I usually try to go to the back and find smaller ads, and I try not to. I mean, Marvel and DC aren't in there anymore, so it's very easy to avoid them. But I usually go for the smaller publishers, and not as much for like Image, Dark Horse, Boom. I'll check out stuff from Ablaze. I'll check out stuff from Aftershock. Before I'll check out stuff from Image and Boom. Dark Horse I'll still occasionally check out, but a lot. I'm skipping to the back of the book because that's where the hunger is. That's where the desire to tell a good story is in the smaller independent ones that have an ad that's like about this wide and about this tall, and they got a paragraph about that big, and they're hoping that somebody will see that little ad in previews and order the book. So, but
There's a
that's
lot of
the
that,
beauty.
man.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Well, I mean,
of
that's playing the game. That's paying your money, rolling the dice, and playing the game.
That's a rigged system to me, man. That's why we need stuff like we have here.
Exactly. Bingo. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's amazing that we have this, the ability. I mean, you can look at the book, and how many pages are we looking at for this one? For this
44 is where we're at
44.
right now. Yeah.
Okay. And
No filler. We're not.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell a solid story.
That's 44 pages of story. See, in a 48-page comic from Marvel or DC, you're going to have at least 7 to 8, possibly 10 pages of ads.
More than that, man. The last time, like a regular comic these days, the last comic I counted had 18 pages in it.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. So, that's what and the quality of, you've seen what Marvel's doing right now. I mean, my God.
Yes.
My comic guy pulled me aside. He was like, man, have you seen these comics? Because I know you don't buy Marvel anymore.
Right.
Look at these. And he showed me, I couldn't believe the paper stock for the covers. They're just garbage, man. We're using,
DC charges $1 extra now for the cardstock covers.
and they're not. It's not even solid. Like we were using 100, 110. I mean, hard.
Right.
And they're not anywhere near
I
what
bet
they call.
they're using probably about 80 or 90.
Oh yeah, we're using 80 on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when they first switched over to the new printing, and the ink was literally coming off on your hands.
Yeah, on your hands. Gross, man.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I'm putting these books away. I'm counting these. Stop leaking onto my hands while I'm counting you. Yeah, it was bad. It was a Batman book too. It's what's really been interesting is seeing how the shipping has changed, and because both Marvel and DC have their own separate shipping things now, and so we got three different orders coming in, and it's interesting to see how different each one ships, and they all ship damages about equally.
I thought the timeliness, because my comic shop has had days here and there where they didn't get their comics in time from one company. DC has been pretty good for them, but
DC is usually really on time. The Marvel,
but everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, Diamond has had issues with timing notoriously. So
yes, Diamond. I agree that Diamond needed competition. I just don't like. I do like that. Okay, with Diamond, a big problem was if you wanted a toy or something, like say I wanted to go in and buy one toy, the shipping on that would cost my company more than it would pay. So they didn't like to do that.
Better off just trying to order it from Amazon.
Yeah, they would ask sometimes, hey, if you want to order that, why not order it from Amazon? It's sad when your comic shop has to tell you that.
When I get trades, or big hardcovers, sometimes you work at a shop and you get a small little discount, based on what kind of a discount the shop gets to sell it, right? Some things we get so little discount that there's no choice for me but to pay full price for it, which is fine because I love my comic shop, but at the same time it's like, damn, just bleeding these shops dry,
My comic shop here, well, that's what, some of these places, they can't compete either. My comic shop, they don't really give a discount to customers. Some of them will, they give a discount for whole boxes. Mine doesn't because, man, their margins these days are so slim on comics.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, the margins on shops have always been slim. They've always been razor thin, but I mean, recently, especially with, hardcore long-term fans, they're just like, not really excited. I guess I'll come in and pick it up. you know. But then I have people that have been reading comics and picking up comics from the shop for like over 30 years. But, you know, this one woman in particular, she gets so many independent books. So many independent books. And that is the majority of her stuff is independent stuff. As a matter of fact, I had Absolute Book 1 in the shop, and I sold that to her, and she's anxiously awaiting Absolute Book 2. You know, it's my co-host on Topic was Jason Bascom. That's his book. I've sold Mary Boys in the shop as well.
That's
but
awesome.
you know, there's a hunger for independent comics out there. Is what I'm discovering. You know, good books, well done books, well crafted books. You know, with fucking beautiful artwork. These pages are great.
Oh yeah, his work. I love that hook. You know, you got the wreck, then you have, you know, him crawling out. It's like zoom in, zoom out. I love the way the boot positioning is. I just love the presentation of that hook, the beginning hook.
And this is all him. The colors, the inks, the lettering, and just wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep.
He's a beast.
I like it.
All right, and then this is the.
Some people don't realize how difficult that actually is, you know. And I mean, when you find somebody that can do it all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and to not just be able to do it all, like, you know, kind of good at one thing and kind of half-assing the rest of the stuff, but to be good at all of it. That is truly a rare thing.
You want to hear something crazy? So you know who had him and let him get away? Richard Meyer. Yeah, Richard Meyer had him. Yep. And he let him slip away. You know.
Well, you know, it's it worked out for you. That's it's
just I think, man, you know, he could have that. He's like I said, he's a powerhouse.
Just one man armying a book essentially. Yep. You know. Now, is this from the same book, or is this preview?
Yeah. That's just jumping into like 12 and 13. I could put more pages sequentially. Like the newest pages, there's one under it. This is the newest one that go down one more. Just go down there. That's the newest page you just put together.
Oh, wow.
Now, I like the detail, like in that bottom panel. Like if you scroll down just a little, you can see the shadows on the water and everything. I mean, his detail.
Oh yeah, the reflection down here. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, his detail work is par none. I love it.
Love the light reflections, the speckles in the water. Like it looks like a, you know, kind of a lens flare a little bit. This is beautiful pages.
Yeah, I mean, his work, like I said, is great. And the cards, I mean, we have on, like, one of the things that I like, too, is when you get to a certain point where you know you'll be successful, you can pretty well get who you want on your project, because you know you're going to have a little bit of extra. So, like Joe Ball, I wanted a card from Joe Ball, so I got that. SK Color did. He's one of the few people I've seen that could color him so well. Yeah,
really, it works well. The line art still pops, because you know Joe likes to lay in all that detail, but yeah, the color holds on the moon are great. You can still see, you know, the detail in the moon. Yeah, this is beautiful. Really well done.
Yeah, we have Cecil told us he's going to do a card. I still haven't seen it yet. So
you might have to keep pestering him, like, you know, offer him scotch or something like that to finish.
I like Cecil. I've you know, like when Cecil started first popping up in Comicsgate, like you know, we were, I won't call us all established. Yellow Flash and I had been around a little bit longer, but when Cecil popped up, like, he's been around forever, and he's always been like helpful, good. Like I can't say anything but good things about him.
Oh yeah, Fair Protection Tentacle. Hey, Gelth Walker, what's going on?
What's up?
Thanks for coming to hang out, gal. Good to see you. Okay, so we got the mini comic, or the Ashcan.
Yeah, same team as that comic. Again, they're still, the Lola's writing, and then we have 6 a.m. doing the artwork. So this is exact same team as that one.
That's awesome. I love Mark's work. He's so awesome.
I mean, that was a great comic. That was Lola's first attempt at writing. Like, she doesn't take credit for it very much, you know. And I'm like, oh no, I see people that they'll talk about the process of creation, And I'm like, you created a comic book, you can throw down in this conversation. You made that thing.
Hell yeah, I got to work with 6 a.m. That's awesome.
Yeah. And they created a funny little comic book that I enjoyed it. It brought in the baby umbrella girl, and I don't know, like I said, it was a fun comic book.
That's fantastic. I love the fact that it's a family project like that. As a fucking nerd geek, just having an entire family that's just into all this shit. I mean, that's a little slice of heaven. That's fucking cool, man. I think it's amazing.
It works for some of it. It's also knowing if your audience, you can do that with it. Like my audience has always been, even from the beginning. I've had about a 1/3 female audience always. Yeah. So, I have a lot of families that are attached to it too. So I could do something like this. Now, some people, like an RGE probably couldn't do a family book, I don't think. But.
Right. Well, I mean, it's knowing your audience, like we've been saying the whole evening. You know the kind of book you're making, you know the audience that you're aiming at, and you built that audience, over time. This is a really cute card.
Anna made that.
That's pretty adorable.
Yeah, she made it live. Anna was really good about that too. I had to argue with her to make her take money. She was like, "No, it's free." I was like, "No, you're going to take money."
You will take this money, and you won't argue with me about it.
It's just funny. She was like, "No, it'll be cute. It'll be fun and cute."
Well, it is fun and cute.
Yeah, I was like, "It can be all that, and you still will take this money."
Well, there you go. Exactly.
Now our stretch goals, we went with add on. Now we have the 0 card, Anna's card, 20 Joe Ball card, 40 Lug made a card.
Awesome.
60. We do the last campaign we did a Silent Hill homage postcard.
Ooh.
Yeah, remember the see you in Silent Hill, all that whole and they had cool postcards back when. We're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to do an homage from where we're at. So we'll have a Silent Hill. Yeah. We'll make a sticker. I like the sticker. And then 100, I said 4 pages, so that pushed us up to our 44, plus a Cecil card. But I said possibly a Cecil card.
Possibly. It's awesome. Checking other items that can be used.
Yeah.
I love the clause there. I mean, it's appropriate for Cecil. Yeah.
Well, it is, It's kind of funny with the cash grab, like joking and stuff.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Oliver? He says, I need the Littlest Umbrella, the Cryptidinals crossover.
You could cross over some stuff there. I'm really, I've had a lot of people ask for, for permission for crossover, and I've been protective. I mean, again, my properties are like my kid.
Of course.
Real, so I've been very protective.
It's your intellectual property. Yeah, absolutely. You can't just let it go.
It
willy-nilly, for lack of a better term.
It really is my kid, so I'm very protective.
Literally,
yeah.
This is a family affair. This is a whole family deal. Let's see. So you are at 118. Wow, you are almost to 120K.
Yep, we've been rolling, man. We've been rolling hard.
All right, so let's go over the tiers here real quick. Monster Bundle. This is everything. This is the catch-up tier.
Well, it's got now we do a black and white version too. If people are just crazy and want everything plus a black and white version of it, but this, if you're into color comic, black and white, I thought it would be a cool noir edition. But still, you get book 1, book 2, book 3, cover A, B, and then mini comic plus a sketch card. But the sketch card's by me. You're not getting S.K.BENNETT for that price. That's for sure.
Right. Nice.
Yep.
Well, I'll take a sketch card by you. That's fine.
You get
the other books.
It was added kind of free. So this is the only tier that had the mini comic on it. I know some people complain about that, but I like that in that thing. I'm like, here's your incentive to pick that up. This thing that we do. And then the next time they roll, I will add them only as mini comic. But once they're printed, I'll print them one time, and then I'll collect them, and then that's it. They're done. I'm not going to print them again.
Yeah. So, okay. So collect all the mini comics together as one, print that, and then done.
Yeah, what I've done with Goody Bird, okay, like the first one was kind of a love letter to comics, but it had a cover that's very reflective of its time. It kind of shouted out everybody there, like 40% of those people aren't around anymore. And the story itself works really well, but there's still a lot of inside jokes in that too. And once it's gone, well, it's gone. It was fun. I like it. And again, I'll collect it into something, but once it's gone, I'm done with it. Like it's out there, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, that's the whole collectible thing, you know. But yeah, this is the perfect bundle for anyone that missed the other two books. I saw you out there, King Link. I know you missed the first two as well. So
what up, King Link?
There you go. Yeah, there he is.
Hey, King
there
Link,
he is.
Props to him.
Trouble. What's going on, Wise? Good to see you.
I think King Link's got a sign up too. If anybody hasn't signed up, they need to sign up for his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just give him props right now. King Link actually, when we went to Anime Matsuri, he kind of saved the day. We broke the Anime Matsuri server that went to Outline because they think of. I mean, you want to know how much impact that we can have. Like this blew my mind. They had all these huge Japanese acts and stuff.
Right.
We pulled with Ricada, myself, Ty Beard, and Hirohe, the people covering the Vic stuff at the time.
Right.
We pulled enough that it broke their server. And if it wasn't for King Leek, we would have no footage of what happened there. So,
awesome. Well, hail King Leek.
Yeah.
Good on it, man. That's awesome. That's fucking amazing. That you broke their servers. Well, you know that's the power of what we do. You know, that's the power of being on a platform where you can connect with your audience. You know, it's just a tool. You know, it's how you use it. And you've used it to connect with your audience and, you know, build this, you know, for lack of a better term, relationship with that audience. You know, they know you, they know what you're about, you know, and that's why the family thing works, because your family is a part of what you do, you know, and that's, you know, your audience understands that. So I don't know. I'm beginning to see, like, I see a pattern in successful campaigns, and it's you know, knowing exactly what you're about and tailoring what you're making to your audience. You know, building that audience, knowing what you're going to give them, you know, and then listening to the feedback that they give you.
Yeah, you gotta know them. You gotta respect them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the new book, the basic book, is just $25 for 44 pages of story. All killer, no filler.
That's right.
That's right. And then this is the cover B by Lug herself with the missing spider.
I love that cover, man. I love it.
It's cute.
We have a charity tier. I like that. So some people, we get a lot of people that don't like comics. You know, we run across them while we're platforming the cases. So you donate a comic, you buy one to donate. We match that to donate. What we'll start with are children's hospitals in this area. You know, there's a lot of charities out there that do stuff. There's even a comic charity people like to add, but it ain't coming to my little hometown out here. So we'll do what we can here, and we'll just keep plugging along. We'll keep doing good, and we have quite a few to give away so far, and we'll keep getting more.
Delth Walker says, it helps that Tug has so many creative people who do things to make doing all of this worthwhile. Oh yeah. People you hang out with, creatives that help spur you on and push you forth. I mean, steel sharpens steel, right?
We also, I mean, we back a lot. We're closing in on about, again, I know more people have done this, but between Lola and myself, we've backed around 400 projects. We may have crossed 400 projects now. So,
shit, man.
Yeah. That doesn't count. I've employed, like, last year, not counting my main project, but I was figuring it up, and then commissions and other stuff, because I like to throw money back. I figured in, I think it was almost $13,000 in commissions and stuff that I paid out to artists.
Fucking fantastic, man.
Yeah, I try to pump it back into to everybody that's out there.
Well, I mean, if you can do that, and you've been collecting comics for a long time, you appreciate good artwork. Why not? I mean, it's what people do when they have a regular 9 to fucking 5 job and they, want to spend their disposable income. Why not? Why not
It's a tax
buy
write-off, man.
Right.
With what we do on here,
Seriously,
we get to write it off anyway. So,
shit, man, why not? And it employs an artist to do what they love to do. It employs an artist to do their trade. So how is that in any way, shape, or form not a win? I mean, that is a win-win all around.
I always try. I never really try to employ the big people. They no offense to them, but they can employ themselves. They have a lot of money.
They can
so,
find it. Right.
Yeah, I try to back to the people that I know are out there that need it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of talented people out there that are hungry and that haven't had a chance at a break yet. So, yeah, I think that's fucking awesome, man. And you never know what unknown talent you'll come across doing that. Let's see. All right, new book, both covers. If you just want to get both covers of the book. And then all 3 books. Oh, okay. So this is the new Kyung cover. So this is an all new cover for the first book.
Yeah, you get that in the Monster Bundle too. So you get the new. Yeah, you get a new. It is person exclusive. What's funny, the last campaign I did, I actually had that Kyung cover ready, but I did a cover. I did a all inclusive like the Monster Bundle, but I called it the all-inclusive bundle, and I used the word all, and I was like, man, it's scammy if I come back and drop a exclusive cover. I was going to drop an alternate, so I was just like, I'll save it, and I did.
Right.
Saved it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's awesome. I love his work. His line work is so clean.
I wanted him on the same, his the approach, like when you look at that approach to the Umbrella Girl versus the other, I love his manga-esque style, but I love both styles. It's like a totally different book when you look from 1 to 2, and I kind of love that.
Oh, the change in art style.
Yeah, because he is manga influence. So.
Oh, for sure. That's definitely. Right down to like the gray tones and stuff that I've seen him do. Man, it's been a while. I'm just thinking. It's been a long time since I've seen Kyung on a live stream.
Yeah, I haven't really interacted. I saw him on something. I saw him say something or something not too long ago, but I don't.
I heard a whisper of Kyung, maybe 2-3 score a week ago. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Kyung used to jump on a bunch of different streams when I first got started.
Oh yeah, he was everywhere. He was everywhere.
Yep. All right, all 3 books. Oh, okay. Here's the black and white monster bundle. Wow.
Yeah. Now we sold a bunch of those. We had a secret tier too, and it sold really good. So
excellent.
The ones forward, we have that black and white monster bundle, and we have so if you wanted the monster bundle in black and white, you could just get it. But we have one underneath that. It's like a all color and black and white. So it's got everything.
The Mega Monster Bundle.
Yeah. And then there are 2.
That's a perfect name for it.
There are 2 drawn in tiers left. So if you want to get drawn in, I mean, we've sold everything, but our 2, they'll go. They're
I have no doubt.
They were people, they had all gone, but you get these op refunders. You get weirdos that like to mess with stuff, and they refunded 2 of those. So we actually sold them all. And 2 people. So we thought they were all gone, but 2 pop back up. So if you want to get them, they're going to get them before they're gone. It's like 50. You get all those comics that were above it too. So you get a $200 tier of comics,
right?
Plus $50 added on. You're in the comic.
I mean, that's damn, that's a hell of a deal. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
if,
like-
especially if you were going to get, all of this anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, toss $50
Why not?
more on there and you get your face in the comic.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that again, involving the audience,
Yep.
I believe that's one of the strengths that we have over the mainstream. Also, we have better personalities.
Well, and in the mainstream, like when you look at like, oh, you want to be drawn in as a superhero, $10,000. It's like, what are you talking about? No,
Yeah.
$250, unless
Yeah.
you're a main character. Like we sold 3 main characters and we did them at $500. So.
Wow. I mean, see, even that's reasonable. You're a main character in this story. That's the story of the book. And, yeah, I don't know. Again, a lot of mobility that we have that the mainstream does not.
And then original art, you get this the Mega Monster bundle, so you get the $200 bundle plus you get the art at $300. We sold 3 pre, and then we have I think 3 that are sold there.
Nice.
Yes.
And then the get drawn in. I mean, all this stuff is sold out. Look at this.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we sold out a couple of other. There have been some tiers that were secret. Like I said, we had somebody that wanted to back 100 charity comics, so they
that's
they got their
awesome.
own secret. Yeah, you can either click that thing 100 times, or you can write me, and I'll make you a tier, and you can just buy a
Right.
tier.
Save everybody a bunch of time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where does everything go from here? This is the 3rd issue. Just going to keep going. How long do you see this going?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm going to do. I know one more at least for sure. We're going to do. We've talked about it. We'll probably trade paperback those suckers at one time too. So,
Right.
I mean that's a project. Plus, when we trade paperback, we'll put some kind of story into that too. That way.
Right.
But I have no idea where it'll end. I have other comics I'd like to do as well, but
That was my next question.
yeah. I got a horror story in my mind that I'd really
Right.
like to do. There's a couple other things that I like to do too. I just haven't. I've been kind of stuck to this thing still, and
Right.
EBS
Well,
is
it
right
works.
on one thing. If you got a thing that works, why not keep doing the thing that works?
Especially if people are hungry for it. If they're looking for it and they're enjoying it. I mean, you got to do something that feeds you creatively as well. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, if you're having fun, if you're still having fun telling these stories, and the audience is there for it, roll with it, brother. Seriously,
Got it.
take time on the side every now and then. Work on something that teases the other part of that storytelling soul, but do what works. All right. So I guess the next question would be, when are you planning? When is planned fulfillment for this one?
We always put a year on our stuff, but we try to aim for earlier. I learned that from the first comic, like put out a year and then aim earlier. We've been on time with all of our comics. We've been lucky. I know some other people, they've had success, and some of them have had problems getting that in there. But we've been very lucky. The beer bug has been a challenge too.
Yeah. They're actually not. They're not reprinting certain trades just because paper shortage. Because I've been trying to get a hold of like a certain, trying to order a certain trade through the shop, and we can't get it. They're not making them anymore. No, they're not in any warehouse, and they're not reprinting those particular ones.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. It's nuts. I mean, it could also be because it's the Punisher, and it's original
like to
Punisher
see.
written by Garth Ennis. So
Yeah. I like the Garth Ennis runs. There were a few other Punisher runs that were really short run. You can't pick up the trades on anymore.
well, I mean, they kind of want to sweep Punisher under the rug. It seems. Yet they're going to be bringing him into the MCU. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Well, do you have any questions out there in the chat before I let Tug go so he can go get some rest? Poor man's been streaming all day, working hard, entertaining you folks.
Started at 8 o'clock this morning.
Holy shit.
Yep, I haven't stopped yet.
Well, I want to thank you for coming to hang out, man. This has been a fucking blast.
Oh, that's good, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've very much enjoyed talking, comics, story, what's the bullshit that we've got to deal with in the current industry. And I mean, I think it's pretty fucking awesome that you've been reading comics, like you've been involved with comics since you were 3. My dad got me into comics. I was 3 years old, and he got me Spider-Man, Batman, and the Fantastic Four, right? Those were my first 3 comics. And ever since then, I mean, I couldn't even read when I got them,
That's
I was just looking at the pictures.
Pictures. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I distinctly remember the moment when, because my mom was teaching me to read with flashcards and I was getting better. I distinctly remember the moment when I went back to comics that I had read, looking at the pictures, and it just kind of like this cloud lifted. And I was able to, I was able to tell like what actually was going on and what they were saying. And it just added so much depth to the story. And, I was kind of way off with some of the shit that I thought was going on, So
it's cool though, man. I remember that feeling of not knowing them, that mystery to it. And then when you unlocked it, it wasn't like it limited it. It was actually like you unlocked a brand new story again. Yeah, I remember that feeling.
Brian Chriskow says, comics are what taught me how to read. And see, that's the power. Books and records. Yep. Oh, yeah. I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out this evening. I realize this was kind of without warning, but when you have an opportunity, you must seize the day, as they say. But again, Tug, thank you for coming to hang out, man. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, go back to Hunt the Littlest Umbrella. Links are in the description and also in the chat. Thanks to my my lovely, wise flying feline. But anyway, we are going to head on out. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.